Did you see the Aikido studio when you walked in?
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, right now.
There was a guy there that was like laying back, watching the guys fight, like doing their Aikido. He was just like, I can fucking do that. It was just so relaxed and chill. Like,
And he was outside or you were in there?
He was like smoking. It felt like he was smoking a cigarette, watching the guys do Aikido.
Cool.
Like,
yeah.
This is bullshit. I can do this too.
I could definitely do that shit too.
Yeah? You do a little Aikido?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
However you pronounce it, yeah. I might pronounce a lot of shit wrong, guys, but...
Did you take Taekwondo?
When I was like 2 years old.
Yeah, that's when I quit.
Yeah.
I was like a blue belt with 2 something stripes or something. Yeah.
Terrible.
So, you don't like that?
No, that had to be the main thing of your podcast, your face.
Well, that's a handsome guy. At least some people think so. Maybe some people don't appreciate me as much as others.
Testing.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Welcome to Deplorables with Attitude. I'm your host, Ben. I'm here with the lovely Leia. It's good to be back on the show. What you been up to?
Nothing. New year, new me.
New Year's resolutions?
Same tendencies. Stop doing so many hard drugs. I know it's not, but honestly, it gets difficult.
What does that mean? What's hard?
Stop doing hard drugs, stop partying, and
like
stop being around butts. What do you mean?
Like
no, like recently
railing heroin?
No, I can't even say the shit I've been on because I'm like, hell no, it's like been bad. But like stop that life and just start actually giving time for myself.
Good for you.
And like stop worrying about boys because I need to stop being like boy crazy. But yeah, those are my New Year's resolutions because the rest of my life is like pretty nice. But yeah, you?
Get healthier. I got a doctor for the like peptide therapy and stuff like that. Got my testosterone levels checked. Might get on the TRT at some point and try it out. But stem cell therapy, peptides, just be healthy. Did a senolytic thing recently.
Yeah, I know.
Flushed my entire system. But like that's the thing about drugs, I will say, that if you have like the funny thing about doing drugs and you get into a loop, which is once you start like feeling better, like if you did too much and you're kind of like in a cycle, that's when you want to do them again. Yeah. Ironically, like once you're like clean and like, oh, it's been a month. God, I feel so good. Where's that like speedball that I like left in my like, you know what I mean? It's so weird, but that's the problem.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, like, yeah.
It's weird, right?
No, it's fucking crazy.
Because it took you a long time to get to that point where you're like, feel like yourself and like you don't need anything. And like, you're like, oh, the fresh air. It's like, God, oh my God, I really want to do... I want to do coke off that guy's beep so bad or whatever. I'm being you, not me. You know what I mean?
You more than me.
No,
but
being you.
No, for real. Like you start out of nowhere, start to crave shit, and I'm just like, this wasn't like a regular thought in my brain. But then like once you been doing shit, and I'm like, no, it's like bad. You get craving, and then I get paranoid sometimes. Not right now anymore.
Like, is it an everyday thing, or is it like a
no?
weekend?
It was like. When I was doing those things, it was kind of just like, that was my mindset. I was like paranoid. I wanted more. And like shit gets you really horny. Like drugs get you fucking horny. Like it doesn't matter. And I was just like, why am I crazy? Because I'm not like the most sexual person ever. But like the drug, the more you do it or the more you're around it. And of course you feel good. But I'm just like wanting and craving out of nowhere when you're sober is like the worst thing. That's when I'm like, cut it off.
That's where I think you need to give yourself a break because your neurotransmitters are like actually not functioning.
No,
like they're not giving you that pleasure that you should feel. So you need to like flush everything out.
Yeah, and then like my brain was just like not okay. Like I couldn't concentrate. I'd go in a room looking for something. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm like, I'm searching, and the thing was right there the whole time. I'm like, this is like in the movies. Like this is the type of shit they tell you not to do because this is gonna happen. And I'm like, literally with like 2 times that I tried something like harder than what I normally do, I was like going fucking batshit crazy. I'm just like, oh hell no. Like, and already somebody that's not stable and that has mental issues. Don't do drugs.
Well, that's who does it.
Don't do fucking drugs.
But that's who does drugs.
Well, yeah, exactly.
The crazy people actually that don't need to do drugs are the ones that do drugs.
Doing drugs.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I was just like, today I was literally like, guys, don't do drugs. Just like in my head, I'm like, don't do drugs, especially if like you're mentally unstable or just like not good because you will go like on a downfall.
Well, I'm never doing, after serotonin syndrome, I tell people, you wouldn't wish this on your worst enemy. Like if you knew that there was like a thing that could last over a year after you take a drug, fuck that. You'd never do it again.
Yeah.
But you'd have to actually feel it to know what it is because your body will. There are people that overdose that do drugs the same night. Like, so it's like, you kind of need like a real kick in the ass before you say no more.
And what I tried, I didn't even know what I was trying. They said the name, and I'm like, I had recently heard that in a movie and in a song. I'm like, oh, it must be like this cool new drug going around. No, what the fuck? I'm not going to say. I'm literally like not going to say because it's bad. But then once I did it, because they were like freaking out. I'm like, guys, we're chilling. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's this thing. And they're like.
Can I ask you, ups or downs?
Upper.
Okay.
No downers. Well, who the fuck want a downer? But I'm like, literally, I took it on accident. And no wonder like they kept on asking, like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, for sure. Like, no, never doing that shit again. Like, literally went batshit crazy. Paranoid. And I never get paranoid. Like, now weed, I get paranoid also.
What is the paranoia?
Oh,
that
like,
I won't be able to find my drugs?
No, it's mostly like I have a lot of cameras in my house because of my cat and my dogs. I'm always like checking them, making sure they're good. And I'm like, no, they're watching.
How many bitches do you have?
I only have one dog and one cat.
Okay.
But I'm like, they're watching me, or like I hear something, or like I see a shadow, and I'm like, they're here. Now it's not happening, but like when I was doing it, like it was just like that. Or like my phone, I have 2 phones right now because one doesn't work halfway, and I'm like, no, like they're tracking me, or like I thought I had this, or I'm like, shit would like delete on accident. I'm like, yeah, they're doing it, and I'm like, who the fuck even cares about me? I literally am not important whatsoever, but like your brain is just like, but yeah.
The previous guest, Sarah, she was a drug trafficker for the Hells Angels, and she like her new next door neighbor. She bought a farm in San Marcos. Are using animals to actually, ironically, like she found this out, are trafficking by like sewing kilos into their skin.
Oh no, that's so sad.
Yeah. So it's bringing back all these memories of when she was like,
oh my God,
she was like used as a drug like mule. Like a guy would like get her high, then have her like steal and do things, like go to like like Target, and then another Target to get all this stuff for meth, like from each little thing and like bring it together. Yeah, so it's sad.
Fuck that.
But so what? Yoga? What is your like healthy kick? What do you do?
Well, yeah.
Writing? Do you write? Are you like an artist and like, that way?
Well, I like to write poetry, but I like to draw. And yoga, I recently stopped because it was just like so fucking cold and I really don't like doing that shit inside. But I should definitely try to get more healthier habits. That was one of my other things, like healthier habits or hobbies just in general. Because right now, like I literally didn't have any for like the past 2 months besides like partying and fucked up.
Nothing's harder than podcasting. Once you get on this drug, you just
like you can't fucking finish shit.
Can't get off. Yeah.
No, but definitely better hobbies. Like literally just have a hobby, Leia. Oh, I started gardening. That was a good one. My house is like full of plants, like literally full of plants. So like that's been very helpful. And what else? Yeah, just more like natural shit, remedies. I'm trying to like make oat milk and goat milk soap and make aloe vera lotion. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of those things actually. I forgot to mention that, but yeah. So those are healthy habits.
When I met you for the first time, I thought that I liked you. I thought I vibe with you.
Yeah.
But I also felt like there's all these like the thing that's attractive about you, not like in a sexual way, but like that like makes you curious. Is that there's like a version of you that has like there's all these secrets or things that you don't show people that I can like tell are back there, and it's like eager to like you want to like figure them out, but you don't in a way that's not like. You want her to be able to like confide or like open up. So that's the way I feel with you. It's like you have all this stuff to say, but like you're not going to say it necessarily.
No, for sure. Like, no, there's just so much shit. It's like those clowns that like take out those fucking scarves never ending. There's just like so much shit up in my brain reeled in. But I'm like, yeah, you picked it up pretty quickly. Some people don't. They're like, yeah, I know, Leia. I'm like, no, the fuck you don't. You literally have no idea anything about me. And neither do I sometimes. I'm like, oh, damn, I forgot I even like was good at that. Who knows?
I feel like you have had like things that happen to you, or like you have these protections. I'm not going to call them self-defense mechanisms. That not so much that, but you have these layers of like protection because of maybe people or things that like affected you in a way that you didn't like.
Oh yeah, just like Shrek. Layers.
Shrek
of that onion, and you get to it one day.
And like it's like. It's appealing, I think. I think the reason why guys, like crazy girls, not saying that you're a crazy girl per se, but given what you've just divulged in the podcast, it's fair to put you in that category temporarily.
I'm a little crazy girl, yeah.
That it's like guys like, and that's why you're a hot commodity amongst your constituency, like of other girls, is that like, guys like and they may not admit it. They may end up marrying a girl that's vanilla, but they really would love, and they'd be much happier with someone like you.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm like, if I were just a tad more stable, I would be way more perfect. But like right now, little things trigger me, and like guys do not like to be like push the buttons, and like somebody that is crazy or on that side, we're intense.
Do you shit test?
I don't shit test on purpose. It kind of just happens because I talk a lot of shit and I'm sarcastic, and that's just
people don't see it. They like think
exactly. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? If they can't even handle it, like I don't want it. But as a person, I know I definitely like need to lower it down, like water it down. Like sometimes I know I can be intense, but I am, what is it called? I am aware of it, but that's just like a whole nother story. But guys are really scared of girls, like crazy girls, like they will not go near you. Like they're scared.
Do you think like the generation of guys now is not the same as it was 10 or 15 years ago? Like you're young, right? Yeah. But like my generation is like the blue Nokia thing, right? Mm-hmm. And that came out, like everyone in high school had the blue Nokia. Oh, you switched it up. That looks good too. The blue Nokia that's like analog. You just text, it's it. It's like, it looked like a brick. Like there was a time where there was no special phones. They were just like whatever. And people had to have conversations. Mm-hmm. And men were like awkward as they are young people. But they were more like, they're less like, I want to say incels, or there was like more men being men.
Okay.
And like, there was like, I don't know, better relationships with people back then. Like, again, you don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I really believe in it. It's so ethereal. I can't tell you tangentially. It's like in my head, I remember things were better. And now the relationship between men and women, it's like there's this void where men are afraid to do everything that they're supposed to do as men because of like some social conditioning that you can't treat women this way. Women, you know, like run the show, and like you're privileged in a way just to be in their presence. But like the reality is, women actually want a guy to be a guy, and like, you know, it's kind of the game. And so it's kind of ruined like progressive ideology, maybe like just people being afraid, like, oh, I just got a new tech job, I can't slap my girlfriend around like I want to a little bit, not like in a friendly way. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't throw her against the wall and like have rough sex, which would probably be best for both.
Why?
Well, why they can't?
Yeah.
Because they're afraid of like, they're afraid of everything being inappropriate. They've been socially conditioned to being like, I can't be myself. Or my fantasies or what I want to do is toxic masculinity or something wrong. I'm kind of just expounding upon the idea of like your relationship with men now and how men might be like not like a version of God, like a guy that you would like would be someone from like 20 years ago.
I don't even know what to say to all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that I definitely think
older guys. What I mean is like you take your guys your age and then you compare them to the guys that you might date that are older, and like it's unequivocally.
Well, yeah, but then if I would have dated a guy from your time and I would have been what I am now,
my time,
they were probably like, they ain't shit either. I don't think men have really ever been shit. If you compare how they treated women beforehand, it used to be a lot worse. Like I would not be able to speak, or like I would not even be able to fucking leave the house without certain things already happening at home. So I'm like, did it really get better?
No, I don't think it's better. What I mean to say is like, I think my generation, the relationship with men and women was healthier. It was still toxic and fucked up, but it was in a good way. I
couldn't agree. I can see where you're coming from, and yeah, that's like the logical side. Like, yeah, it used to be better. Like, there used to be actually like a functioning family, like the
not the nuclear family. I mean, like a guy. Say you got casually that you've been on dates with someone that might be 40, let's say, right around that age. That those dates go better than someone your age. Yes or no?
It just depends on the person.
Interesting. Okay.
Truthfully, like even if I go out with an older man, they're gonna know exactly what to do because they probably have done it before. They probably have done exactly. They already know. They play their mind games. They're not like this little fucking innocent little man that they're so kind and just want to like be taking me out to dinner. Like fuck no.
No, that's good. They're being men. They're like men are awful. That's a good thing.
Yeah, like, but at the end of the day, what are their intentions? They're not always pure. And the dude my age, at least we can be like, yeah, we just want to fuck. Like, goddamn, you know, I think it just depends on the person.
I have to say, if that's your generation now, then there is progress. But I feel like a lot of girls today say like, I just want a guy to like take me, but they're afraid to do it.
I mean, I've had a guy younger than me treat me better than what most men have. Then I fucked it up. I fucked up that being. But I'm like, it just depends on who you choose to be around, I feel. You cannot just generalize. Well, yeah, you can. But a lot of older men, goddamn, I went on a date like 3 fucking weeks with a 37-year-old. I left the house yelling, like literally yelling to this man, because I don't know what we were talking about, like some political thing, and he just like didn't like what I liked. And
what do you mean political?
I don't even remember. Like I was so angry that I don't even remember like the conversation that I said that made him react. And I'm like, why are you reacting like that? And like he was older, but he started yelling, fuck. And I'm like, fuck you. No, literally like out of a movie. And I'm like, yeah, this is the bullshit. I've had that happen before with like a younger guy, not with an older guy, but I'm like, it just really depends who you are putting your presence in front of, because you never know who's going to be like on the other side of that head. You just never know. Older or younger, or medium or bigger or smaller.
Did you watch the football last night?
Fuck no.
Sorry,
I didn't do that shit. No, I don't hear about football like at all.
Did you hear about what happened in the news with like the incident with the young man?
I saw like everybody was like rest in peace and stuff, but I don't.
He had like a heart attack on the field.
Yeah.
He had a myocardial infarction. The guy's named Damar Hamlin, and he basically hit someone like a safety. He like tackled someone, got up, and then fell down, and he stopped breathing. And they did CPR for 4 minutes on the field. And then his family came on the field and accompanied him into the ambulance. They brought that onto the field too and took him to the hospital. And they canceled the game, which has never happened before in the history of the NFL, ever. And then he got to the hospital, and there are reports that he had another heart attack or some myocardial infarction at the hospital itself. And the hospital was supposed to come out at like midnight and give they have a press corps. They canceled it. So it's like he's in a coma. He can't breathe. He's intubated, and his blood is his pumping, but he's not.
God. He's not there.
He might not be there. And his parents. One of the rumors that people are saying, I hope this isn't the case, but that his parents want to keep him alive. They're not ready to let go, and he might actually be gone already. You know what I mean? So it's awful.
Well, that's really sad for him.
The theories that are now being talked about online is that this might have something to do with the vaccine, because the circumstances surrounding this are odd, considering the amount of people in the last year and a half, young athletes that have dropped dead for no apparent reason, but with myocardial infarction, heart attacks, essentially. So
they're concluding that because one person out of nowhere just passed the fuck out on the floor.
No, not one person. There's a bunch of young athletes have started to die for unexplained reasons involving heart issues since COVID. And they don't, and some people are saying, well, this is COVID. This is COVID symptoms of being exposed. And there was an Israeli study that came out about 8 months ago that had a control group of the vaccinated and compared the myocardial infarction amongst the vaccinated and those of the unvaccinated from the age group of 21 to 35. And it was like 4 times more likely to have a heart attack of vaccinated than unvaccinated, which is the opposite of what you think.
Did those people have COVID at one time? Did they check that?
Yeah, so part of that group was exposed to COVID, but the group that was vaccinated, you would think would be more protected. It's completely lopsided. So
that's so weird.
The interesting thing is whether this kid will his family will sue, because all the NFL players, people at lots of jobs if it turns out to be the toxin, the cytokine, the protein spike from the actual injection, if that's found all over his body or in his tissues or in his heart, it's migrated, they can tell whether this incident happened from the vaccine. In which case, he might end up being the richest kid that's ever played football. They'd sue and make a lot of money.
So they're going to check all that before?
Well, if he dies, the family has the choice with the autopsy. But for the sake of money, I imagine they'll do the autopsy. If he lives, it's going to be hard to know what happened. But it's fucked up either way.
Jesus Christ. That's so weird, because I never got COVID. I would always get tested for antibodies, never had it. I've worked with families that the whole family had it. My whole family had it. I never got it. I had no COVID vaccines at that point because, again, it was COVID and it was only for the elderly. But I'm I have never gotten sick. Never.
Did you get the vaccine?
Yeah, then I got it.
How many vaccines did you get, or boosters?
I have only one. I have the vaccines and I have one booster.
Which one did you get?
No clue. No idea. I think Moderna. But again, I have never.
Is it Spanish? Moderna?
Well, it's Moderna, but I'm like, it's Moderna. Moderna is like a Spanish fucking word. I'm not going to say it like that. But I'm like,
Can you say Pfizer?
Pfizer.
Okay, be cool. Can you do it like in a Spanish way?
No, I can't do that.
Okay.
Pfizer. What? No. But I'm like, that is so weird.
Sounds
and
French.
I am like, I don't eat well. And this time, like, was depressed, didn't eat well, was doing drugs. And I'm like, I just never got sick. Never got sick. The one thing, the booster did get me ill, but my other 2 vaccines didn't.
How long
booster
were you ill?
2-3 days, but like I couldn't fucking move type of situation. So the vaccine is scary, first of all. And second of all, very new. So we don't really know what the fuck is going to go on. And I don't really think this NFL shit might be the COVID, like the vaccine.
Oh, it could be just an isolated incident.
I'm like, it really, because I haven't heard too many people just like dying out of nowhere.
Well, there's something called commotio cordis. Hockey players that I remember. I'm older than you. So a guy named Chris Pronger was a defensive end. He had a puck hit him right in the chest. And it was scary because he got up, just like this guy did, for a moment and fell. He went unconscious. He got up again and fell. So it causes an arrhythmia in your heart. And in order to, you have to treat it with like electroshock someone or correct the beat to get it back on point. But it can kill you. So that's a serious probability this is what happened. The football hit him in the chest. The other person was carrying in such a way at the perfect time to cause an arrhythmia. And that's what caused this whole deal. The unusual circumstance, however, is that his heart was stabilized and then he had another myocardial infarction at the hospital. That may not be in keeping with the history of commotio cordis. So that goes back to like the pro-vaccine or anti-vax people. Like, see, look what we did. Look what happened. Look at this shit.
Oh my God. It's a touchy like subject because without the vaccine, a lot of fucking people died. A lot of people died without the vaccine before the vaccine came out, you know? Then the vaccine came and then we started moderating so many of like the illness and sickness. So I'm like, obviously it did help.
Yeah, it did help.
The rate amount of people like that were dying, they were fucking dying. I met people that their parents out of nowhere died. Everybody was dying all of a sudden, you know? And then after the vaccine did come, it did help lower all those things. But again, we didn't really know what the fuck we were really putting in our system.
It's the issue of the young people. The odds of them dying was so low.
Yeah.
But then they pushed it upon young people. Young professionals at work.
Yeah.
You get fired or take the vax. That probably shouldn't have happened.
I mean, I know probably young adults weren't getting as sick as like elderly, but there were people in their mid-30s out of nowhere dying.
Yeah.
I had friends that were like sick to their guts and I was just like, I don't know, like I'm perfectly fine. It just, I think, depends on the fucking person. Like obviously elderly people, they're the ones, babies. The reason why the whole household, like when I was nannying, that they all got sick was because of the baby. The baby brought that shit in. So I'm like, if babies are the ones, elderly...
well, the baby was fine though, right? It carried it, but the baby was okay.
She got like she was a little bit sick, but not the worst sick. But she did carry it. She was the one that brought it to everyone.
Well, they can definitely carry it. That's the thing. The idea is that they're not immune to it, but it doesn't affect them like older people.
No, exactly.
So they have right now. I think they've approved a shot for kids that are under 5.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, but again, imagine if that baby lives with their grandparents. The grandparents can't get the vaccine, or the baby can get the vaccine, or I live with my grandparents.
But it's not stopping the spread. That's the thing.
So getting the vaccine doesn't stop the spread completely. It doesn't, but it does help prevent. And so are the masks. The masks pissed everyone off, but actually, the masks are what kind of help prevent the distance. People weren't listening, but those little things, other countries that were listening, they got out of lockdown way quicker.
Can I ask you a question about the masks?
Yeah, go ahead.
China. Before COVID, those people at the airport, they're wearing masks constantly.
Yeah, because it's nasty out.
But they had a huge pandemic there, the COVID, even though they wear masks everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you think people that still wear masks today have a mental health problem?
No. I wish I could care enough about myself to wear masks because it is fucking nasty out here. The shit we smell... You don't know who you're passing in the street. You don't know what you're touching. You don't know what's going into your fucking nostrils, and it's nasty.
No, I don't mean that. I think these people didn't wear masks before COVID, now wear masks, not because they are...
No, but I don't think it's a mental illness. People that still wear masks to the day.
Or only COVID, not because it's nasty.
No. Yeah, for only COVID?
Yeah, that's what...
Well, I think it might be a little bit absurd, quite a bit.
Do you see the difference,
but
though?
They probably are.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I mean, I think it's smart. I get where they're coming from, but I'm like, servers sometimes wear them. People that work in a lot of places wear them. You don't know who you're going to come to. What fucking sickness. If that was so easy to get that sickness like COVID, it's so much easier to get other shit.
But they're not like they didn't think like this until COVID. And
it opened it up.
But most of them probably are, in my opinion, wear them because of COVID and or they have Munchausen's or they are narcissists. They love the attention.
Well, who's going to look? If I have a mask on, you're going to look at me less.
No. For example, in my opinion, so when bulimia nervosa became popular, bulimia nervosa had one case in the entire world in the medical literature, one. And then after it was published in the Characteristics of Diseases, this one girl, it popped up in the DSM. They wrote about it. And then all of a sudden, clusters of bulimia nervosa started popping up all around the world. It's like, oh, I have that. It's like WebMDing yourself. Similar cases happen amongst girls in school that all of a sudden within their friend group say, I'm trans. Yeah. I'm trans. It's like a sociological phenomena of a self-perpetuating like manifestation of delusion. Because it's like, what are the odds that like 8 girls that are friends in Ohio at this one high school are trans? What are the odds that they're all bulimic? And it's like a mechanism of action for something else that's going on in their life that they need to control.
Okay.
And so they're trying to control this one thing. I think people, autogynephiles are men that are transgender that get off on the idea of being a woman, but aren't actually like they're straight still. So they're like they become lesbians, like Caitlyn Jenner. Mm-hmm. That idea is like they get off on the idea of people watching them, almost in a masturbatory affectation of people, like in public when they walk down the street, they love the attention. So in that same idea, which is slightly separate than normal transgender people. So that same idea, wearing the mask, I'm virtue signaling that I'm good and you might not be, or that I'm special because I'm still wearing mine to protect the community. I think that happens with some people. And it's like this solipsism or narcissism where they feel like I'm important and I have to do my part.
Okay. Well, also, COVID is very much alive still. Talk to a fucking nurse.
Of course.
Like literally. So even if, just because we're not seeing it or hearing about it does not mean it's there. And if their opinion changed after like COVID that, oh, I want to wear a mask and they didn't do it before, people and opinions change and it's fine. And if they want to wear a mask, might be for fucking mental illness. And maybe they want to wear a mask so they can be seen more like, oh, look at them, which I don't think, but COVID is very much alive. People's opinions can change and it's for safety. You don't know if that person, first of all, has someone at home that is their immune system is way more sensitive. You don't fucking know. So I'm like, you cannot judge just by a mask.
I have a friend who's never gotten an antibody test, who's had every vaccine possible, every booster, who wears a mask. And he says, I won't take my mask off until there's a better shot than the ones they currently have for COVID.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I make fun of him every day in our chat with friends because I think he's crazy. But like,
and that's your opinion, but I think they're very smart because I wouldn't trust shit the government tells us to do or not to do.
But you don't wear one.
I don't. And even sometimes, this is kind of bad, but during COVID, I went to Mexico to party. I was around a lot of shit. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, like, da-da-da. But guess what? I do know, like, the truth is a lot of people died. A lot of lives were lost. Our society went down, money down. The whole fucking world stopped, and it was so sad, and that was something real. Who knows what the fuck this vaccine has? Like, literally, for us actually, I don't even give a fuck. But I'm like, you know what? I don't wear a mask because I just don't care in general, and sometimes I wouldn't even wear a mask when COVID was, like, there. But if they want to do it, that is good.
If my friend has already had COVID.
Yeah.
Then is he a little crazy?
No. Maybe he's doing it for others also. People have empathy, not only just think about themselves. That's why when people were getting up is the fucking mask, this and this. No, bro. You're being selfish. You're telling me you don't give a fuck if another person gets sick just because you don't have your fucking mask? No. What people lack is empathy.
But then isn't that everyone that's not wearing a mask now is lacking empathy?
It's not. First of all, it's not a law. It's not anything. There's a vaccine for a reason. It's been very helpful. So we don't have to be wearing masks like we used to.
So which is it then?
It's whatever the fuck you want to do. If he wants to wear his mask for his own sake and sake of others, then let him do it. We're not dying at the same rate that we used to. It's gotten better, way better. But I do get where these people come from, and I'm not going to judge them. I think they're being a little bit more empathetic than the rest of us. It's not as intense as it was, but if they want to keep doing it, go ahead. It literally doesn't matter. Just like it just doesn't matter.
I suppose it doesn't matter, but it is concerning that I haven't seen my best friend's face for like over a year. Like he even on like a video chat wears a fucking mask inside. It's crazy. Is there something wrong? Is it possible he might need to see someone?
No.
Maybe.
This pandemic was traumatic.
Of course.
Was intense and was scary. And out of all the fucking years I could have been born, I had to have been born in 100 fucking years when there was a pandemic on Earth. It was intense and people are traumatized to this day. And if he has something in his mind that he's saying, no, I want to wear it so he feels safer, let him be. Like, let him be. You are no one to tell that's weird. No. For his own sanity, let him be and stop messing with him because that's just not nice. If you can see that he's uneasy about it still, that's something personal within and I can't judge that. I respect it. I wish I could still wear my mask and care that much, but I don't.
My concern is that the event is a traumatic event, maybe for him.
Yeah.
But that he, in order to get better, he probably should talk to someone. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
It shouldn't just be that his reaction is the cure. In other words, wear a mask for as long as he wants to. Probably isn't the correct course of action without therapy. Is that fair?
Does he still go out
with a mask on and gloves?
That's fine. I don't see how it's weird. It's for their own sanity. In the fashion industry, there are people who do not show their faces. They don't. They wear ski masks to any
like
event.
Kanye West and everyone? Yeah.
No. Even here in this fashion scene here, that they don't wear a mask. And I'm like, I mean, they wear like a whole, like you can't see their face. I don't know what the fuck they look like. And who cares? Maybe it's a fashion statement. Maybe that's how they feel more sick. And the other day I was like, what if I just wear everything black so I don't have to pretend to be someone or have people look at me or have people see that side of me? What if I just want to go all black and like gloves and shit so like no one can see me? No one has a fucking opinion on me. And maybe that's how they want to do it too. Maybe they feel safe with their gloves and their mask so I don't fucking need to touch the nastiest of this shit.
If I almost drowned in a swimming pool when I'm 12 and I'm afraid of going to swimming pools now, I'm like 6'6", 220 pounds. You're saying, who gives a fuck? Hey, he doesn't want to go to fucking swimming pools. I mean, who gives a fuck? Not everyone likes swimming pools. Some people like the ocean. Some people like ponds.
Yeah.
Some people like go on slip and slide.
Yeah.
I mean, he likes to go to water parks. He doesn't like swimming pools. Leave him alone. But the reason I don't like swimming pools is a traumatic event that I never addressed.
Yeah.
So in my friend's case, as his friend, I'm concerned that maybe he's not getting the help he needs.
Is he suicidal? Does he eat right? Does he seem okay?
Except for like the mask on like video chats indoors when he's alone. That just seems a little
maybe
weird.
he just got used to it and that's how he feels way more secure.
But that's what I'm saying.
You can't judge.
It came from trauma, so maybe the trauma needs to be addressed as well. Maybe in the cure or his health, his mental health, he decides he likes masks. But he has not addressed the trauma. So I'm concerned about him as his friend.
Well, maybe, first of all, he just likes himself with the mask on.
He's really good looking. I mean, he looks like an Abercrombie model. It's sad.
I would love for no one to have ever seen my face and just like wear a mask my whole life. Like, I can kind of get where he's coming from because I had recently had those thoughts. But I'm like, if he's fine and he wants to wear his mask, let him fucking be. If it is a traumatic thing,
he's going to watch
then
this and be like, I love her.
I'm with you.
Like,
I'm literally like with you. Because I'm like, people judge about literally anything.
Yeah.
Anything. We'll judge about anything. And if I had a mask right now, you'd be like, why the fuck you have a mask? I'm like, well, maybe I have a pimple here and I just don't want to show it. You're not like, who cares?
I tweeted that ugly people are the only people still wearing masks as a thought.
Oh my God. And the way like last week I met this dude with a ski mask and I'm like, that was kind of dope. Like he doesn't have to pretend. He doesn't have to like care about his facial expressions or like his teeth or like anything. He's just like, I don't know who this person is. Like I don't, and I'm like, I love that. I love like having people not know what the fuck I look like, because why do you need to look like
I'd love to see a video on like one of those crime shows where you're held up at a 7-Eleven as one of the customers, like they're like, want your wallet too, and you just compliment the guy like, I love this. What? Look at this, the camo. I love. You look great. Yo, how much do you? Here, just take it. You go, boy. I like that's great. But like, yeah, your empathy is like
no.
Woo!
I think empathy is what the world needs. We don't have enough of that shit. I see someone.
I dig it. It's unique. I mean, it's extreme.
And it shouldn't be unique. Even animals have empathy. Like, literally animals and some men that I meet don't. Like, how the fuck, like, a monkey has more empathy than this man I just want to
Everyone in this world thinks about themselves constantly and lies and says, like a movie star, he's like, oh, I just care about, like, the environment and the rainforest. No, you don't. For most of your life, you were caring about how to get on a TV show. And then you did it.
To spread the message.
No. Now they're like, I care about, like, paper plates and are ruining the ozone layer. Like, now they have the privilege to do that now. But, like, most people are selfish. And yes, you're right. The world needs empathy. The world needs empathy.
People are selfish and they're never happy being selfish.
Don't think that you're the standard. You are an outlier. Most people aren't like you. And
that's why the world is shit.
That's why when people meet someone like you, they might be enthralled. Again, the first thing I thought about was when I met you was not empathy, but that you put up with all my bullshit and you gave me a chance to kind of like be a good and I think some people might not do that to other people or like you let me make mistakes and be like fall over myself and stupidity and like, you know what, he's not that bad. I'm going to give him another 5 minutes before I punch him in the face.
No, it's true. Yeah. I think you can't really judge someone until they give you a reason to judge or have a negative opinion on that person.
Sure.
So until I don't see that shit and something like, Leia, you're already trusting that person. I'm like, yeah, I don't have a reason. And it might be not safe sometimes, but thank God nothing has happened to me. But I'd say, like, why judge before you even have an opinion really of a person or a thing or like a food or anything? Until you try it out, then you can have an opinion. Just don't talk before you know shit.
I didn't ask your permission before this to ask about something.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the circumstances around your new car?
No, we're not talking about it.
I
can talk about that shit because that shit is literally crazy, but we're not going to talk about it.
What about not his name? It's like, you do this thing, and that's how you got it. Like, can we talk about it? Like, you don't know his name. Not his name.
No.
It's like Barney. Barney. Call him Barney.
Terrible. No.
It's such a good topic to talk about. Are you sure?
I mean, we have a lot of good topics that I like. Stop it. Okay. That is not necessary. I'm not like this famous person that can talk about my personal life and people want to hear this shit.
I don't think that particular thing. If someone found out that like Cameron Diaz did that for a Bronco or something,
my God, that is just so embarrassing, guys. No,
it's hilarious.
No, it is pretty funny.
But it is funny that like men. What we're talking about is there's a circumstance surrounding how she obtained her new car that most women would kill for.
I don't want to. What if somebody comes across this podcast?
No. I'm talking general. I'm just trying to like, segue because like, now they're really interested and they're gonna wonder why the fuck won't she say the story? So I'm gonna have to like get them away from the story. So
you need to subscribe and like.
Yeah. Subscribe and like down below, and you'll go to the Patreon, and then you'll get this special clip of how she explains how she got like a $50,000 car for 5 minutes of work. But yeah.
That is so embarrassing.
Men are idiots. Men are. Is that fair?
No, men are so dumb.
Yeah, men are dumb. Andrew Tate.
I actually kind of agree now that I investigated a lot of shit. I'm like, you're stupid. But a lot of things, I'm like, it's logical. And like, I think that way, but I've never really heard it from another person. But
you mean
like,
his shit, the way he talks?
His whole vibe. Like, it kind of makes sense.
1 or 0 on the binary. Would you or wouldn't you?
Huh?
If yes or no, would you sleep with Andrew Tate if you had to? 1 or 0? Like, absolutely? Or
I think he's sexy. Like, I was looking at him, I'm like, God damn. Okay. I'm like, I think he's a very attractive male. And like, the way he talks sometimes does annoy me. It might be like his voice, but like how he expresses himself. And he's actually very respectful when he is also respected. And so he's not like attacked, I feel, or like people aren't listening to him. Like, he's a very like kind person.
He doesn't seem to treat women that are around him on the podcast and stuff badly.
No, but then I did see some like Reddit videos and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, shit goes down. But I'm like, at the same time, like I wouldn't trust a man that is okay doing those things. So I'm like, I'm not in favor of him, but I get where he's coming from.
You mean how he made the money? Like
the money, I think it was smart. But I don't know why he judges girls that literally did what the fuck he did. I'm like, you're using men and you're over here complaining about women using men when you literally were the one using men and like lying to their fucking faces.
I think he might be also giving the public service announcement to guys who are like, listen, like focus on your money and the women will come. Don't focus, like don't give all your money. Don't buy a bitch a Bronco. I'm just kidding. Like focus, like, oh, my Bitcoin money's gone. What happened? Like,
no, for real.
Like you have, it's funny. Like you end up having all his money. Like you have them. Like he like put $1,000 into Bitcoin in 2012, and now everything that he had from that is yours. Like mine. In like a month. Yeah. Like he has a serious problem. He's a problem. Like that could be a thing. Like he might not be that rich. Like you really get everything. And like, hopefully he invests in me before.
Oh my God, you're really ratting me out right now.
No, he'll never see this.
Oh my.
But yeah, I think. Do you think that like his arrest is real, like legit? It seems legit.
I don't know. I don't believe shit, honestly. But like his Twitter, he seems pretty woke. So I'm like, would he be more a part of the Matrix or like the media to begin with?
You think he's woke?
Yeah. Like I was reading his tweets and I'm like, I have literally thought these things like the past 5 years because.
What do you mean? What by woke? What do you mean by that?
Well, he'd be talking about the Matrix and like the New World Order and like all like don't fucking trust the media, don't trust the government. And I'm like, yeah,
but that's the opposite of woke. So like the woke I think of as like Black Lives Matter is the best organization ever, and if you don't like Black Lives Matter, you're a racist. Like
how is that woke? No, that is not being woke. Being woke is like literally knowing the truth.
No, but so the way woke has been used, like around the Me Too movement, like some of the progressive movements, is that woke is that the patriarchy is evil, blah blah blah. But that's what woke means. It's like a negative.
I mean, it's
his version is like the patriarchy runs shit, tough shit. That's the way it is. If you want to overthrow it. That's not woke. Like that's
not him though. Like his most recent tweets, he was just like literally, do not listen to the media. Do not like have a brain of your own. Like, so I'm like,
the media is pro woke.
The media is not woke.
No, the media protects the progressive movements, the liberal movements in the United States. They're that's what. So woke means like. Hey man, that's racist, that's anti-LGBTQ, that's what woke is.
Okay, that too. And he's not that fucking
I don't think
open
it's all
about
the same.
Like, okay, well, he's not woke, what I would say, with like feminism and that type of shit, but on like worldly things.
He's
and, like,
awake. Can we use awake?
But he has opinions that I'm just like, no, bro, like you're literally fucking stupid. But a lot of the shit on the other, that's why I'm like,
don't trust the government. Agree.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I understand where he's coming from, and like I do get it. But there's a lot of things when he like,
don't let women control you. Probably.
And how he speaks about women or like his mindsets. I was like seeing this podcast. He was just like the Taliban. He's like, oh, since feminists think they can do whatever, how about they go fuck up the Taliban? And I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I don't give a fuck. That's Afghanistan. Like they can figure it out. That's how they want their society to run. Let them do it. And I was just like, wait. There's like so much more to it than what you're saying. Like there's obviously opinions and things that I don't agree with.
Right. But he's not evil. He doesn't seem like an evil guy. Like he shouldn't be deplatformed.
I don't know. I really don't think anyone should really listen to someone like him, but I do understand why people like him because he's realistic and logistic to a certain extent.
Do you think that the thing that's happening with people that are like seemingly like him, maybe an Alex Jones person, that when they go too far or say something, they lose their bank accounts, they get deplatformed, they lose their ability to like host their websites to make money off their like shtick? Do you think that's right? Or
wait, say that again. What's the question?
Like Andrew Tate has lost his bank accounts, his cars have been seized, he's lost his ability to make money. He's been like inability to make money through social media. It's been like taken away. His bank accounts have been like frozen, or like JP Morgan and people like that have refused to work with him. They closed the accounts and say, do your business elsewhere. PayPal says, no, we won't accept payments. They basically make it impossible. They did this with Alex Jones too, who's you cannot make money spewing your bullshit. Now, is that fair? Should that be the case?
Well, I mean, he wanted to be talking shit. But no one likes that.
But like talking shit about certain people that like have the power to shut you down, that seems fucked up, doesn't it? Like it's like what Kanye said. Like Kanye's like, hey, these people run everything, which I think is a compliment actually. Like to say like I'm 7.3% Ashkenazi, so I guess I can say this. It's a compliment, in my opinion, to say that the Jews run everything, and to say like that's anti-Semitic is crazy. But like then once he says this shit, they're like that's anti-Semitic, and they actually take away his ability to make money. They shut his bank accounts down. They like call the IRS and say, hey, go after this guy. He owes taxes. Blah 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 blah. Adidas stops working with him. That shows the power. It's the irony is that he's like saying basically, oh shit. Hey, these people run everything, and they end up like kind of shutting him down. And so it like proves his point. Like Andrew Tate is a threat to the establishment. He says things about how men should be strong, that are like toxic masculinity is not a real thing. Men should be men. Men should like, build their empire or whatever, and stop like, succumbing to women's bullshit and like run their shit and stop being afraid to like I don't know, be masculine and like take control of their lives. All this stuff, it's like kind of Jordan Peterson positive stuff in some ways. Some of it might be a little intense, but like he's not saying anything. He's not like sex trafficking women for money. It's not really what he's doing anymore. I hope what the allegations aren't true.
Okay.
But
well, we don't really know what was the tip of that, like the cherry on top for him to like PayPal and all these fucking companies not want to like have his money or like work with him. Do you know what was like the cherry on top?
That happened before there were any allegations of sex trafficking.
Yeah. I know they took him off of Twitter.
Yeah.
Well,
Twitter,
I think he was being
Instagram.
hateful. He was being hateful.
What do you mean by that, though?
I think I remember like he violated community guidelines. You're not supposed to be mean online. If you tweet mean shit, you're gonna get that deleted.
But
even
that's
anyone.
what I mean. Like those community guidelines we learned about the Twitter files. You've heard about those recently? Like Twitter, like working with the FBI, like deplatforming people. What they define as misinformation or hate speech is very like it's preferential to one ideology. It's not.
Yeah.
So when you say like, oh, you're not allowed to be mean, it's only mean. You're not allowed to be mean against these people, but not those people. That's the fucked up thing. Like you can be mean against white people all you want. Like, they go crazy. But if you say anything like, I think like a transgender person might be like, you know, some transgender people aren't good at basketball. If you said that, like, oh, you can't say that. That's awful. And they can like the platform. That's what's fucked up. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
All I'm saying is like it's not even.
If you're being hateful or fucking annoying, just like how they shut down Trump shit. There you go.
Do you think they should shut down the sitting president of the United States? Do you think that should ever happen?
If he's saying some dumb shit, yeah.
But they find out that what he said wasn't dumb shit. Like the reason he was kicked off is they alleged that he had cited the insurrection, and then he was found not guilty of that. But they still wouldn't let him back on. What is that then? You know what I mean?
Trump already had so many problems everywhere.
But like if Biden said that, I wouldn't want him to be kicked off. You know what I mean?
Why not? Then he will, because it's literally a fucking guideline of an app. Just follow the guideline.
But if NBC and ABC and CBS can ban the president from telling the American people that the aliens are attacking right now because they don't like him, he can't like give a message to the American people. I think like Twitter is kind of like this platform that's huge. And for them to unilaterally do that, I think is kind of like crazy.
Well, they can go do that shit on the news. Why the fuck are you using Twitter?
That's true.
Like if it's really that important, why the fuck are they not on the news? I see bullshit on the news. About Addison Rae, this TikToker. I'm like, who the fuck gives a fuck? Use the news for what it's supposed to be. Use Twitter to be fucking tweeting bullshit, not for all this shit. That makes no sense. And then news is unfiltered.
I think Twitter has become a news organization.
No, it definitely has.
And so
recently.
it should come under.
And it comes with guidelines. And if you violate those, you're getting knocked the fuck out.
Private guidelines, because it's a private company.
Okay, then yeah. Read the guidelines and then you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Don't be bitching about it afterwards. Like, oh, why'd you kick me out? Oh, hey, here it states that you actually agreed to this shit. There you go.
The danger is, though, that all the media organizations are private companies. And so they theoretically can work together and move and change opinion whenever they want. You know what I mean?
You go.
That's
like
it's scary.
How society works, though. That's also just how the app works, is how the government like controls us.
But yes, you're right. But that's not good. That's not a good thing.
It's definitely not good, but it's the truth.
And so Andrew Tate saying that, I don't think should be the reason that he is the platform.
Then talk to Twitter. Then talk to Twitter so they can change. Andrew Tate accepted to those guidelines.
I love that girl. It's like, I'm going to peg you, Andrew Tate. I'm going to find you. I thought that was hilarious.
No, Andrew Tate needs to be terminated from all social media because he made a lot of people angry because he was definitely wrong and lacked empathy. And of course, a lot of people were fucking pissed. How half the world was pissed at Trump whenever he would open his mouth because he was stupid.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Notice how everybody loves
you.
Beyonce? Because she's a beautiful woman, good-hearted. No one has problems with Beyonce.
People still talk about Beyonce?
Beyonce, Miss Carter? Yeah.
But she's not like...
actually, no. I don't think so.
She's not like... Yeah, she's not doing anything bad or good. You know,
exactly.
She's just kind of like hanging out.
Exactly. But people still love her. She's never given any reason to anyone to hate her. Besides, like, the whole Illuminati and that she fucking sold her soul and then all that shit.
She did? Would you sell your soul for
definitely. The other day, my friend did a prank that he sold his soul, and I was like so sad, like so worried, like my heart dropped. I'm like, oh, he's not gonna have a soul anymore. Like, he's not gonna exist. And he's like, yeah, like they invited me to like a dinner date, like I'm just gonna sell it. And I'm like, how can you sell your soul? Like, that is so sad. Like, that is as low as it can get for you to sell your soul. Like, how unhappy can you be with your own self and your own life? Like, I was like so sad. Like, I started tearing up. He's like, it's a joke. But I'm like, oh, God damn. Like, I could never sell my soul. Apparently, I have lived like 400 lives because I got like my records read.
Have we hung out before?
For what?
Can you find after when you see your person, your reader? Can you ask them if I was like your mailman or some odd like random thing? Like,
well, I mean, this was like years ago that I got it read. I have it like it's a whole document, like a.
I'd like to know selfishly if I was like your third grade teacher when you were a guy in a different life. That'd be interesting. It would be interesting. Like,
I think that'd be interesting. Do I give a fuck? No, so I'm not going to do it. But I'm like,
if I paid for the reading, I think it'd be interesting.
God, you just want to be someone special in my life. Like, hey, I told you we were it.
A mailman's not special.
You were probably my dog
like
when I was in the 1800s.
Given my karma, I feel like my next life's gonna be like I'm a dog. I feel like that's
what?
Or like a caterpillar or some centipede. Ugh, I don't know.
So you're all angry because Andrew Tate got kicked out.
I don't give a fuck about Andrew Tate.
Got his voice taken away.
I don't give a fuck about Andrew Tate. What I care about is that like either he set up the Romanian thing to push his brand, and it's like he paid all these people to do this. Somehow, I don't even trust the Romanian government. I feel like it's like a small little country, and he could like set up this for his own like propaganda. Like, look what they did to me. I'm being persecuted, and he makes $100 million through social media again. Or like, I just don't think if it's real, like he shouldn't have his car seized and all this bullshit unless it's real that he actually like abused women on webcam. Well, actually, it was
There's a fucking video of him beating the fuck and like slapping a woman.
Really? I didn't see that. Let me see.
And apparently the girl after tweeted saying that she's fine and like it was just like, but I'm like, that video did not.
Like defensively, or he's aggressive? He's like, he's. That's not good. Is that him? Or is his brother?
That's him. No, that's him. Do you not hear his voice also? Like after everything.
It sounded young. He has hair back then.
No, it's definitely from like a bit ago. No, but that's like, no.
Why are they filming it though?
I think it was like I really don't know. But yeah, I found it on Reddit.
It's like Hunter Biden films all his shit where he's smoking crack and like hitting whores. Like, why do you film that? Are you like a child? Like a Snapchat person?
Yeah. Who the fuck knows?
No, that looks awful. I just hope that like...
I hope she's okay, but she literally said afterwards that it was like, that she's fine, like, I don't know.
I'd love to know his answer to that. What's the context? Like, again, that looks like, why is someone filming that? Like, it's weird.
It seems like it was set up too. They might have been like doing something in bed and then shit, I don't know. He's just like, did I tell you to... I don't know. There was a little bit more to the video.
Or like that was like some sex play shit where, you know what I mean? It's possible.
If it were, then why wouldn't they just post it like that? Why did it have to be like...
Because it's way more interesting when it looks like that than
again.
I know, I'm not defending it. I didn't see that. Like, I wish we could show that to
She
everyone.
said it was fine afterwards, so who knows?
Like when? Like in that video?
No, like in a tweet time after that shit like was released.
Did she give context to what happened?
I really don't know. I saw it in one of the podcasts.
Yeah, you like that.
I'm just like anxious, so I need to be like touching something.
You okay? You're doing a great job.
I'm fine. No, I'm good, but
the camera loves you.
Sometimes I'm like, I keep on looking at myself.
The camera loves you.
Goddamn, I opened up the bag and it just smelled like gas.
Do you know that women's brains shrink after they have kids?
I didn't know that. And actually that was the only topic I didn't read more about.
That's like a great women's lib thing that they don't actually use. Like I don't want to have kids and be like a mom that stays at home because I want my brain. Like that's the real argument.
I mean, again, but then I haven't seen any woman have difficulty with their brain. If anything, I feel like they're smarter than men.
Yeah, but maybe it's like they lose a little bit of the edge after kids. Maybe.
Who wouldn't?
I mean,
I'm
fair.
a nanny and goddamn, after I clock out, my brain is just like, I need to rest. Exactly. So I'm like,
do you have a preference, boys or girls?
Boys are amazing, but girls are so lovely to work with too. No preference. Babies are amazing.
How long have we gone? Let me check. Okay. What are
How long have we been here for?
What do you want to see happen with Ukraine and Russia in 2023?
I want peace. It makes my heart so sad, just like thinking about that whole thing. But then again, I feel like Ukraine kind of just like kept pushing and pushing.
We're
and
funding
pushing
everything.
And pushing. We are funding everything. We're in a whole ass fucking
it
war
would be
right
over.
now. We're literally in a whole ass war, and like people are not talking about it.
Yeah.
We are in a war.
We're doing it. And we're like...
Yeah, we're always putting our fucking noses where we should not put it, but...
Do you know that his wife, Zelensky, it's like she went on like a €50,000 shopping spree in like England and London recently? How much like all the money we give him? Like, it's crazy. Like, this becomes rich all of a sudden.
You know what? Again, empathy. No empathy. No one gives a fuck about anything or anyone if it's not them. No one cares.
Well, I care a little bit. I think
Zelensky doesn't. His wife doesn't.
The delusion is that we need Ukraine to be the protectors of Europe. Like, that's crazy. We could go in and like firebomb all of Ukraine in a second. They'd be done. What the odd thing is, I'm shocked that Putin hasn't done that. Like, I feel like he could really destroy, but he's like taking his time. I don't really understand it.
There's something way more deeper going on that we don't know what the fuck is going on.
Well, I think
is going on.
I think the threat to the United States is that the BRICS, the Brazil, Russia, India, and China, plus the other small countries like Indonesia. Well, Indonesia is big, but like they're coming together to create maybe their own European Union or their own reserve currency, which would threaten the United States because we print money so much. We kind of need the dollar to be the world currency backing everything around the world. But if all these countries band together to create their own, it becomes a threat to our way of like our indebted way of life. So that's a threat. And the only way to stop Russia in one respect is to control their oil, which would mean have NATO push into Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't really worry about the oil and the gas per se, but all the pipelines from Russia come through Ukraine to Germany and Western Europe. So that's a problem, and that's a threat to Putin. So if anything, Putin's just defending his ability, to, I don't know, be whatever.
Well, I think Putin is just like defending his country. I don't really...
Yeah.
He left Ukraine alone. He'd bully them, like did it a bit, but then he's just like, just don't cross, don't come here. And what the fuck did Ukraine do? They didn't listen, and then now they're complaining or whining. But I'm like, they saw it coming. Putin did say. He did say. So I'm just like, obviously it's very sad, but again, why the fuck would you go do what you did when you already knew what the consequences or the outcome was going to be?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Just the world is like collapsing. It's literally like dying in front of us. It's kind of really sad. Really, really sad.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing a few things.
I'm looking at it. I'm like,
webcam girls.
Oh, yeah, webcam girls.
Wait, webcam girl.
That was really about Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, how he like began everything.
I had that idea. I guess you can't do it now. I think you can. Evidently, like OnlyFans, like that type of thing, like girls doing it on their own is still a problem for a lot of girls in Eastern Europe. Like they live with their parents and they don't have their own rooms. So they would go to a studio. It's still a thing. So he ran a studio, which is like kind of like this, but with a bedroom or something. So it looks like a girl's room. Yeah. And she's like, hi, blah, blah, and like, hi, daddy, whatever she says. And like, he takes a percentage and it's like, it's 70%, some ungodly amount of money. Good business model, provided you're not like coercing girls and sex trafficking them and like shooting them up with heroin and saying you have to perform today to get your next shot. That's fucked up. So provided none of that shit's happening, whatever. But I mean, I don't know.
I think he's a very smart man.
Yeah. He's
and then I
way more money than I have.
I think he started off with like, he said like, the 5 girls he started off with were like his girlfriends, like, or girls he knew, or like, and then he flew them out and then they just had him like at this house, and that's how it kind of all started.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's smart. Those girls wanted to come. Like, those girls definitely smart also.
Yeah, and they're
one made him like $25,000 a year. Like, a month.
One guy he almost wanted to cut off because he felt bad because he knew like how much money he was spending. He like told the guy to like stop. Like there was a guy named. A Japanese guy that was in Steve Wynn's casino, and he lost $85 million one day. He had a serious problem, and Steve Wynn personally had the casino cut him off. It's like, dude, this is insane.
Oh,
this guy's gonna lose all his money. Yeah.
I mean, men, they're so smart, aren't they?
I lost $50,000
I have
blackjack
never heard a woman
go
through something like that.
What?
Lose that much money because they're just horny.
women don't think that
Yeah, we
way.
actually think.
We think about Ford Broncos.
But
yeah.
okay, what I was gonna say, we forgot the topic about. Do you think women are like seeking like transgender because men want to be feminine? What's the question you sent me? Here.
Yeah, tell me. I don't know.
It is. Why are so many partnered women seeking an escape into polyamory?
Oh yeah, Feld.
Yeah. Is it because men are becoming women, and if women wanted to be lesbian, they would have married a girl?
Yeah, like
where the fuck did you get this question from? First of all,
the Feld app is like mainly a polyamorous app.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so it's like, why would it be that this is becoming more and more popular to the point where there's an app that's profitable from people seeking to date outside of their like monogamous relationship?
Okay, yeah.
Either like openly, or like cheating or whatever, or girls that actually, for some weird reason, they wouldn't necessarily like be eager to go on Bumble and like swipe right all the time, but they're far more comfortable jumping onto into a throuple with like another which makes me think it might have something to do with like the George Costanza, Jerry Seinfeld idea when George found a picture of this model and he would go around telling people that it's his dead wife, and all these women would date him because there's this gorgeous girl in this picture. And he's like, so from his perspective, all these women were like, oh, he must have something going for him. So it's like, is that the thing? Like these guys are taken, so it's something like, oh, it's taboo, or maybe I could steal him from this girl, or what is it about relationships, about like threesomes, or like like a girl saying, I'm looking to see couples. What is it, just fun, or is there something more to it?
Okay, I think we just overthink it, to be honest. Honestly, now that society is... Women have always been sexualized. Women have always been afraid to even have like more than one partner, or even be sexual, or the way they dress, how they talk, what they do for work. They have always been afraid because society and men, like, they look up, like, they're hard on us. And now that I think that we're like not sexualizing and having sex be more like this casual thing, we are more prone to open up our hearts and our mind to want to experiment more. Before day and age, my mama ain't have no threesome. I didn't even think my grandma, or probably she did, but I don't think it was like seen nicely in like society's eyes. That's why we weren't doing it. But now that we are evolving, thankfully, we want to experiment. We want to be more sexual. Guys have always been sexual. Let me also try a woman out. Sex is not that deep. It is not. It's something that even animals do. Everyone does it. Aliens fucking do it. Everyone has sex. Why are we making it seem like it's this structured thing where male and female and that's it, just two? Hell no. It's so much more fun and liberating, having fun and being comfortable with your body when no one cares. There's sex parties out here. Like, there's all sorts of things, and just, it feels better. I think women are just being way more comfortable with sex, their sex life. And if they want to have threesomes, I haven't been in a threesome personally, but that sounds like fun. I might at one point, but we have always been structured to be this type of way, to think this type of way. We've always been sexualized by men, our clothing, our makeup, this and that. And I think 2023 is just going to be where women are going to feel way more liberated and have a relationship. Like, there's a ton of relationship, like, situations that I didn't even know about. But I'm like, being in a poly relationship sounds phenomenal to me. I can have a girlfriend and a boyfriend, or two boyfriends for different things, and still have a connection and intimacy, and I can still go out and have fun, and I still have love for these people and have them in my day and day, and like still have love and not just be like a fuck girl. Like, I feel like it's amazing.
Has that ever actually happened to you, where you had feelings that way, where you didn't feel like they affected each other? Have you?
I am recently actually touching waters with a person that has a partner, but he's like wanting to get to know me. And I'm like, you know what? Last year I was in a relationship where I even brought that up to them, and they were like, fuck no. Like, you want another boyfriend? Like, nah. And I'm like, oh, God damn. But I've always thought, I'm like, I have such a big heart that I actually feel like I would love to have two different types of partners for two completely different things, because I am a person that isn't like supposed to be structured or in this square at all. Why should my sex life be that way? Humans have so much love to give, and like having a connection and intimacy and just like desire from like, you want people for different things, and different people make you feel different things. Why do you have to have just like one man at the end of your day or end of your life? I think monogamy is a beautiful thing, and that is like something very intimate, but it can also be with multiple partners. Humans are made to love. Why are you making it just boy and girl? Why? Because society, because just how we have evolved. But now that poly exists and like we're open about it.
I'm sure it's always existed.
No, it definitely has always, but we have never been this open about it because sex is just like, shh, girls don't talk about like, shh, or like school don't have like, shh. Like, you know what? Sex is natural and it's beautiful. So now that I'm like even open, because I have been always a very closed person, but now that I'm like, it's not that fucking weird. Like, you go on the app, it's just a bunch of white people that look straight as fuck. I'm like, God damn, and you're a freak. And they literally look like the most normal fucking people on this planet. And I'm like, no. Now that we're like sprouting and opening up, and it's something that is not like so, oh my God, like 2 partners. I'm like, fuck that. Like, no. The rave, the fucking community in Austin is actually amazing. They make you feel as safe and this beautiful environment that had never even like felt so much love around me in the rave and like fashion, vintage fashion. Like, it's just so beautiful, honestly, that the many like people that I've learned in this like scenery, and that they're all poly or they're open, and they seem like balanced. They seem well. They're not like in this toxic relationship with this fucking guy. Like, no, their partner is happy to see them have love and like desire another human. And that person doesn't trip balls and like leaves them. Like, no, because they know that connection is real, that is their partner. It's a partnership, like companionship. It's amazing.
Do you think if you were in a poly relationship with another woman and you guys like picked a guy, that you would have a situation where you wanted to evolve it into something more serious, that one guy would impregnate you both so you both could be pregnant at the same time? And like that would be kind of a cool thing.
I think it would be amazing. Imagine. Yeah. I think I might even feel less lonely during my pregnancy and have someone that I already love going through the same thing. I think that would be amazing. Me personally, I have mental health issues that I need to like recover from to be able to share a person, but I want to get to that point where I'm as open as I can be. Right now, like, I do like struggle with jealousy or like my like bipolar sometimes, and like I know I need to be a better human to be in a partnership like that, but that is like the goal, to be as open with my love life, sex, whatever the fuck I want to be. But first I need to get my shit right so I don't trip, so I don't overthink, so I don't get jealous, so I don't feel less than the other person if I see that person being a bit sweet with that, you know? Because you overthink. Me, that I'm a damaged person, that coming from a damaged past, coming from having mental illness from like a very young age, there's just things that I need to fucking work so I can have a healthy relationship with myself and with a partner. Because like all my past relationships have been shit, mostly because of me, because I'm fucking batshit crazy and I haven't healed that part. But like now that I actually am excited to date someone and like partner, poly, just see where it goes, I'm like, I need to get my shit together so like it can work out. Because how I see other partners and like their relationships, I'm like, like if they can do it, I can fucking do it. Like I want to be as happy and like as free as they make themselves seem. But I need to first heal. Last question. In the rave scene, are there people that are sober, and are they supported by other ravers? Yes, 100%. There's this, oddly enough, one of my good friends that I've recently met, their good friends is a plug, and they have been sober for like the past 4 years. The plug is sober? Yes. Interesting. And they're the kindness. They're a little tripped out. In the past, they have done drugs, but now they are sober, and it's just like amazing how everybody, like, there is no discrimination. I swear to God, like, I dress straight, I dress white. When you go to these raves, they're kinky. They're all sorts of things. I see the outfits, they're sexy. Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm just like, and I look the way I look, like, they can tell I'm a straight girl because, and when I started this, like, I wasn't really open with my sexuality or anything, but I look like any other girl, white girl from downtown, you know? Like, I didn't look any different. But they were still so kind. I haven't started doing the drugs that I have been doing recently. I would just smoke a bit of weed and that was it. They wouldn't care. They come up to you, they talk, they dance, like they invite you, they make you feel welcome, because that is what the rave scene is supposed to be. Feeling a safe space away from this fucking society that makes us feel crazy or weird for our makeup, our thoughts, our love life. They make us seem like it's all weird and exotic and it shouldn't be normal. But then they have this safe place where they can dance, party, laugh, do any drugs, dress however they want, be whoever they want to be. And it's just like it's like heaven on earth, I swear. Like I'd never, and my friends sometimes like trip about it because I don't seem like the type of girl to like those things. Mm-hmm. But once you're there and you understand, and it's just like amazing. You just feel so free. And it's something so beautiful that I wish that like everybody could feel that free. Like, and you feel safe. And if something happens, like I have been drugged, oddly enough, by this white fucking group of guys. And that they were there, and I was just like, I actually gave them my drink because whatever, it's like a whole story. And the first thing I did was go to the front. I'm like, I need to go to the front of the fucking club, and I'm like, I told them like I do not feel good, and I dropped to the floor. Boom, they said like I turned purple and that like I couldn't walk and I couldn't do shit, but they took care of me like I was a little baby. I like slept on this couch in the fucking club for like 5 hours, and I wake up, the DJ's still going, and I wake up, they're like, oh my God, are you okay? We took care of you. There's some water. I'm like, God damn.
They didn't want to call the police or something like that to
They
make
didn't
sure.
need to. In the rave scene, you fucking know. Like, I was just like, I just need to sleep, guys. Like, I just need to sleep. I kept telling, like,
because the serotonin, the thing that I got is common in the rave scene.
No,
Serotonin.
yeah. I was not, like, puking or anything. I just, like, my body literally could not take. And then, like, I started puking, like, immediately when they give it, like white shit came out of me. Like my body was, like, rejecting it as fuck. And I'm like, guys, I just need to go to bed. Like, and they're like, okay. And they had the couch, and, like, I went to bed. And I felt as safe as it can be when I am in around my people now, because like I would say they're my people now. I meet all these people, and like they're just so kind. Like everybody, they see somebody full of tattoos, piercing, pink hair, and they think, oh, they're up to no good. Oh my God, they're the most artistic, cool, creative, unique person I've ever fucking met. Like I'm like, I want more of that. I don't want no more fucking random straight people with. I'm like, you're boring. Like now I have no tattoos. I look pretty fucking like well structured in society, but I'm like, no, I want to fucking be as crazy as I can be, because I'm like, I've been wanting to. I'm like, why am I waiting to do all those things? I'm like, oh yeah, because I care what people think. I'm like, I shouldn't care. And these people are like the happiest. Obviously there's struggles, and everybody like has things they worry about or like things going on in life, but at least they're comfortable with themselves.
Are you gonna get a tattoo now?
I'm gonna get a shit ton. I'm gonna get a little piercing here.
Clavicle tattoo?
No, everywhere. I want to get face tats. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
Face tats?
We're gonna go. Everybody's like, whoa. They're like,
some teardrops.
I don't give a fuck. No, I want to get a little like dermal piercing. I think it's like the prettiest little thing. It's like a literally little piercing.
Yeah, up there, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I saw it on a person the other day. I'm like, that looks so beautiful. I'm like, I need more. Why do I care anymore? I'm like, I'll tat it up. Your
opinion, I can't. That's not me, right? It's not me.
It can be whatever you want it to be. Who says
if
it's
you were
not
to rate my crazy, what would it be? Like a 5? Like a 10? If you were to like say,
I think everybody's crazy.
Everyone's crazy?
In their own way. No one is sane. Literally no one. Not even your fucking grandma. Not even my grandma. I talked to that girl, I'm like, God damn, she's not okay either. No one is not crazy.
And yet, whenever you see like a grandmother walking down the street, I feel really awkward if I think of a sexual thought, not about the grandmother, but like if I think of something like sexual, or I think of something sexual and then I see the grandmother, then I'm like, oh my God, she would hate me if she knew what I was thinking. But then she also would probably think of fucked up things, like maybe like she'll think of like the Wizard of Oz and all the munchkins were like fucking each other like on the off time when they were off stage. Like, she might be like, she might know all about that. She might have been part of the orgy. And so she's like, it's not fucked up. It's like she like blew 7 people at Studio 54 or something. Like it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know.
Now that I'm
we should treat older people better about sex. Not like inclusively, but like be able to talk to your grandmother about like, I don't know, like whatever. That's weird still thinking about it, but like something like
now that I'm older and like I have friends that are older too, I'm like, everybody has sex and everybody does drugs. Don't fucking matter who this man. I've met businessmen that look like they haven't fucking. No, I'm like,
but
they are
the
worst.
The older people have like they stop doing it for whatever reason they do, and like they're 70 or 75 or older, and they seem like old and decrepit or like having trouble walking. But then they're like, I used to sling it.
They used to, and they probably would still if they could, but they'd probably fucking have a heart attack if they took a little fucking line.
Like,
no, for real. But I'm like, sex and drugs, sadly drugs has to be part of the picture, but it's not that fucking like rare. And everybody does blow. You go downtown, everybody doing blow. Don't matter who. Like literally everyone does drugs. Everybody has sex.
I'm surprised the amount of cocaine in Austin, Texas. Like I thought, like I first thought there was no cocaine. There's just meth, and then I realized no, there's everything, and it's like more cocaine than not. And I don't know.
More cocaine.
Like,
what do you mean?
I thought there was no coke in Texas, and then I realized no, there's just as much as meth.
There's just so much shit around here. No, it's like really bad. Like the way you can get drugs out here is like crazy.
Yeah, it's like Uber. Yes. I'll take that.
Here. It's like everywhere.
Did you have fun on the podcast? Is it good? Is that right?
It's fine.
Yeah,
I love hearing myself talk.
Great voice. Great voice.
Right, guys?
Do you have anything to plug or no?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
All right. Patreon.com/thebenben. Deplora.com for merch. DEPLORAR.com. I will see you guys next week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.